classrooms. So you could easily spend a lot of time on this. There is no way that I will be able to tell you everything that you can do with a virtual classroom, but I'm just going to give you the basics so that you can get started with your students. Miss Hall, if you can, while I'm doing the presentation, if you can just kind of man the chat box and let me know if there are any questions that come up, because I'm going to be sharing my screen in Google Slides. I won't be able to see if you have any questions.
Will
Okay,
do.
so you can see my screen. The first thing, we're going to go over our assignments for today. We're going to talk about getting the Bitmoji app and extension, setting up the classroom, hyperlinking docs, and adding to Google Classroom if we get to that point. The first thing you need to do if you want to create the Bitmoji, you could very well have this virtual classroom without your Bitmoji. This is my Bitmoji right here sitting at the desk. You don't have to have it, and it can still be virtual and interactive for your students. But I find when you put a little image of yourself in there, it's more engaging for the students, especially with the distance learning, and they get to see a little picture of their teacher sitting right there. It's more inviting for them. So in order to get the Bitmoji, you have to download the app. And the only way to download the app is on your smartphone or tablet. So you just go and you download the app from your app store. And once you download it, then you can get in and start editing your Bitmoji. You have to edit it in the smartphone first. Once you get it on your phone, how do you get it to your computer? That's when you add the Bitmoji extension to Google Chrome. And I'm just going to show you a really quick and easy way to add the extension. You just go to a new screen and type in Bitmoji extension, and you'll click on it. And as you see, mine says remove from Chrome because I already have it on Chrome, but yours will say add to Chrome. And once you click add to Chrome, you'll have this Bitmoji extension right here, and you'll click on it. And that's where you'll go in order to grab your Bitmojis to put them in your Google Slides. Okay, so let me go back to my classroom and let's get started designing our classroom. I'm gonna start from a blank slide. The first thing you want to do is to add your background. Ms. Hall kind of talked about it a little bit, but you don't want to put a picture there because if you put a picture, it can move around. So we're going to add a background. You click up here at background and choose an image. This is the most important part, in my opinion, because this is where you're layering everything on this background. Google image search. And I do wall and floor background. It's going to give me these different wall and floor combinations that I can start with to build my classroom. This second one right here, I think is the easiest one to start with if you're a novice. So I have my background in there. Now I want to start building my classroom. I like to start with my whiteboard because that's the main focus of the classroom. This is where you're going to put your agenda. You'll have links in there for what you want your students to be able to do. That's the main focus for them. So you want to put your whiteboard. Go to insert at the top, image. And if you have images saved on your computer in your drive, you can get them from there. But I just start with searching the web. And it's going to bring this little search box to the right. And right here, this is the important thing. When you're searching for images to put in your Google Classroom, you want to start out by saying transparent. When you put the transparent there, it keeps those images from having a background on it. So you don't have to worry about trying to remove the background from the images. If you do happen to find a picture that you really, really love and you want to put in your classroom, but it has a background, I'm going to show you how to remove those backgrounds as well. But we'll start with transparent images for now. So transparent whiteboard. Okay, and you'll just pick which one you want. Here's a transparent whiteboard. I'll resize it. You just grab a corner and drag it to resize. And now you have your whiteboard on the wall. I usually make my whiteboard kind of big so I can have all my information there. Now, how are you going to write your information on this whiteboard? You do that by inserting a text box. So again, insert. This is where we'll start a lot with this insert. Insert text box. And I just make it really big so I can insert my box across the whole whiteboard. And this is where you can put your agenda. Your date, everything that you want your students to be able to do, you can put it right here on your whiteboard. And I'll show you how you can hyperlink different things inside of Google Slides as well. So we'll keep building our classroom so it can look more like what the kids actually would see. I'm going to find a desk. So again, insert, image, search the web. I'll keep that transparent there because everything I get, I want it to be transparent. Transparent disk. Here's my disk. Take it, you move it to where you want it to go. Now, when you have images, they're usually positioned a certain way. Let's say I wanted my disk to be in this corner. Well, it looks kind of funny with my disk in this corner and the opening over here. So you can flip the direction of it. In order to flip the direction of your disk, you'll simply click on it, right click, rotate, flip horizontally, and now your desk is facing the other direction. So you can do that with any image that you put inside of your classroom. You can flip it. I'll add a chair. Yeah. I'll put my chair over here. Okay, so once you have those basic things, if I want to put myself, and I'll show you different ways you can add the Bitmoji. If I want to put myself in the chair, then I'll come up here, right here on your toolbars where you have your Bitmoji, where you go to retrieve your Bitmojis. So I'll click on it and I'll put sitting. If you put sitting, it'll show you Bitmojis that are already sitting down. So to insert it, you can either right click and copy and paste, or what I like to do, you just grab it and pull it over to your slide. There's my Bitmoji. Again, she's facing the wrong way. What am I going to do? Right click, rotate, and I'm a flipper. So now I can move her and she's sitting in the desk, in the chair. Like I said, you can spend hours and hours building your classroom, make it personalized. I drink a lot of Cokes, so I'm gonna put a Coke on my desk because you want it to look inviting to the students, especially if you teach the little ones. Put some artifacts in your classroom that remind them of what they actually see in your classroom.
And Ms. Patterson, while you're doing that, we did have a question in our chat box.
Okay.
Is there a reason that you want the images to be transparent, or is that just a preference?
The reason that I want the image to be transparent, as you see, like right here, and I'll show you, I'll give you an example with this. I have this Coke right here and I put transparent image. So this Coke doesn't have a background at all to it. It's just, it looks like a Coke can, and I can resize it and I can put it on my desk. However, oh, that's a big Coke. If I don't put transparent and I just put Coke bottle,
Might have a background.
it will have a background. So you see how this one has that white around it? It doesn't look like it's an actual Coke bottle that's sitting on my desk. It looks like a picture of a Coke bottle. So that's why I do transparent, so it removes that background. While we're at it, I can go ahead and show you right now. Say I did want this Coke bottle. This is the one I like. And I want to have it on my desk, but it has the background. There's a website that you can go to that will easily remove this background. So I'm going to take you to it now. It is remove.bg. You do not need an account or anything. It's totally free. All you do is type in remove.bg and it will remove any background from your picture. So I'll go through the steps of how to remove the background. We're in Google. I found my Coke bottle. And I'm gonna control or right click, save image, and I'll put Coke bottle because you have to have it saved on your computer to use that feature. So I'm gonna save it. Then I'll go to remove, and from there I'll upload the image. There's my image, the Coke bottle with the background. And it has removed the background from it. So now I'll download it. Go back to my slides, insert image. Now it's on my computer because I've downloaded that image without the background to my computer. Upload from computer. And here it is. So now I have the image without the background. So if I just wanted that bottle, even though it had a background, I could go to remove.bg and it would take the background off of it. Okay. So next thing, let's say you wanted to change the order of the position of the Bitmojis that you have. I'm going to put another Bitmoji in. Let's move her out the way. So I go to Bitmoji. And if you want to find Bitmojis that's standing, if you put pose in front of it, it'll bring up the standing Bitmojis. So I want to find a standing one. Let's see. Here's one. I'll drag her in there. So right here, I'm standing in front of my chair. Well, what if I want to be standing behind my chair? How do I move myself to where I'm standing behind my chair? I'll right click and order and send to back. Now I'm standing behind my chair. So that's how you can change the layering of where your objects are. Okay. So let's move to the next slide and you'll see as I move through slides, I have pre-made classrooms or scenes, and that's what you can do. You can spend, like I said, you can spend a whole lot of time in here, and you don't want your work to be erased. So what I do is I create a lot of slides and I put them in one slideshow, and then I save it. I don't make any edits to that original one. And like Ms. Hall was telling you, I go in and you file and you make a copy. And so when I build my future ones that I give to my students or that I will be giving to my students, it'll be made from a copy of the slides that I already have put together. That way you don't have to worry about losing anything. And you don't have to start all over with your classrooms each time you're adding things to it. So this is one that I have, and this is like my library or my media center. If you want to label for your students, like if I want to give them directions and tell them to go into the media center, so I might want to label it, insert text box. I'll go right here at the top corner, and I can label it Library Media Center. So now you have a label for your students and they know where to go for their assignments. So this is where you start to make it interactive. You see I have some books already on my bookshelf. Well, say I'm teaching a kindergarten class and I want to do a book study on the Cat in the Hat. That's my lesson for today. I want my students to learn about the Cat in the Hat. The first thing I would do is I would put the Cat in the Hat book on my bookshelf, just like I have these other ones. So insert image, search the web. Let's see if I can find it here. If not, I'll just go to the Google. Cat in the Hat. Okay, here's a book right here. So I'll use this one. You can just double click on it. So I'm going to resize this Cat in the Hat book so it can fit on my bookshelf. Cat in the Hat is on my bookshelf. So it looks nice. The Cat in the Hat is there, but I don't want my students to just look at the Cat in the Hat book. I want them to actually be able to read the Cat in the Hat book. So what I did was I found a PDF of the Cat in the Hat and I saved it to my Google Drive. So I already have this PDF in my Google Drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link this PDF to that object, that book, the Cat in the Hat, so that when my students get this presentation, they can click on the book and they'll actually be able to read it. So what I'll do is I'll right click on it, get a shareable link right here. Gonna copy, go back to my classroom, click on the book, and I'm gonna link it right here. So link and paste it. So now I've applied that PDF to the book, and when you give it to students, they'll be able to click on the book and actually read it. To extend that lesson, I could say, hey, I want my students, after they read it, I want them to watch a video clip of the Cat in the Hat. So I usually find my video clips from YouTube. That's a Google app. I'll go to YouTube. I'll just look for a link. I found a video. Let's see. Get close. You click share and you'll copy that YouTube link. Go back to your Bitmoji classroom, file, go to video, paste the link there. There's my video, select. And this is what I like about it. It looks like an actual little TV that's there. I'll resize it and I'll put my TV on my wall. And the kids, you can actually play it from there. So whenever you're presenting, I'll put it in present mode really quickly. When you're presenting, you can press play and they can watch the little video right there on inside the classroom. Okay. So next slide. This, I have a Venn diagram of comparing and contrasting. This is a slide that I would give just to show you that you can actually put some things in there to have your students actually type within the classroom. So I could give them directions and tell them, I want you to compare and contrast what you read in The Cat in the Hat to other Dr. Seuss books that you've read. So you can actually give them assignments and they can type inside, they can type in the classroom. And I'll show you how to upload it in Google Classroom to where each student will get a copy and they can type on their own copy so it doesn't mess with your original or mess with the slides that other students have as well.
And Ms. Patterson, while you're doing that, I'm reading the chat box, and we have a teacher that wants you to repeat the steps for inserting a link. You know how you made the book interactive? I believe that's what they're asking for.
Okay, so I'll go back to it and let me show you. So I'm just gonna pick this book right here so you can see. What you do is you have to link it to something that you already have that's in your Google Drive. So once you find your documents or something, just save it to your Google Drive and you can link it from there. So this is what I linked. I had the Cat in the Hat PDF right there. You can link other slides and stuff like Ms. Hall showed us earlier, but this is how you do the document. So you save it to your Google Drive, then you go, you find what it is that you want, right click on it, and click Get Shareable Link. So to give you a link to that document, copy the link, go back, click on whatever it is that you want to link, whatever you want to hyperlink, click on it, then click the link. It looks like a little paper clip. Click the link button. Oh wait, this one already has a link, I'm sorry. We'll click this. Click the link button and just paste it there. So whatever you've clicked has the link to it. Okay. So the last thing that I showed you that I'm going to show you, and like I said, this is by no means all that you can do with this. It's so much that you can do with it. And Ms. Hall is going to provide you with some more resources at the end. I'm still learning new things that I can do with my Bitmoji classroom. But the last thing that I'm going to show you is how you put this in Google Classroom so your students can access it. So I'm just going to go to my Google Classroom. I'll just pick one. Go to classwork, create. I like to create it as an assignment. And click Add from Google Drive. I'm going to select it. And the way that this right here, you see where it says students can view file and then it has the drop down menu. This is what's important. Whichever one you choose is based on what you want your students to be able to get from your Bitmoji classroom. If I just want students to be able to see mine and click on the links but not make any changes to it, then I'll leave it here with students can view file. If I want students to work collaboratively, like I want them all to be working in this same Bitmoji classroom, maybe I have them answering questions or I have them designing their own classroom, then I'll do students can edit file. I wouldn't put it here with smaller kids simply because they might accidentally delete some things that you have in there, but you can definitely have them all working on the same Google slide and they can make edits to it collaboratively. Or if you want students, if you want to make this an assignment to students, you have things in here that you want your individual students to do, then you make a copy for each student, and that way each student gets a copy of this Bitmoji classroom, and they can do they can make changes to it and submit it to you. Okay, so I hope that you learned some new tricks and you all can get started creating your own Bitmoji classrooms. If you look on this slide, my information is available. You have this slideshow. Ms. Hall is going to give you our website with some more resources, but definitely reach out to me. You can reach me by email at akelly3@ebrschools.org. Twitter at TechieDeanPat, and then I have my own personal Google site. You can reach out to me with either of those modes, and I'll be glad to help you get started in your own Bitmoji classroom. I'm gonna go and see if there's any questions, and if not, Ms. Hall, I will bring it back to you.
Wow, Ms. Patterson. I think I can sit here all day and listen to all the wonderful things you do and amazing things you do in making G Slides interactive. Moving right along, I'm going to go ahead and in the spirit of our tagline, network, grow, and go together, we have a Share Faire document that we are asking, we are encouraging you all to fill out, and I'll share my screen so you can see. The reason why we want this information, because remember, this scope of work is quite a lot. It can be a little bit much, but just like Ms. Patterson, I think she's the Bitmoji guru. As far as my experience. So I may want to go to her, pull from the network document, the Share Faire document, find her email and say, hey, can you give me more information about the Bitmoji classrooms? So we're just going to take a few minutes, and we'll present my screen to kind of explain the Share Faire document. And then we're going to talk, because we want you all to switch your hat a little bit. We want you to go from being a trainee to a co-trainer, because remember, you all are also experts at what you do when you're navigating on Google Slides or any other G Suite apps. Also, if you're unable to record your information on our Share Faire slide, you can also put this information in our chat box, because I'm going to extract all of our information and put it on our Share Faire document, on one document, and then I'll tell you where we will place this information. So I'm going to show you real quickly. Our Share Faire document slides, if you are in our slide deck, our presentation slide deck, and you are in edit mode, you're going to visit slides 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, I'm going to show you real quickly where we want you all to put your network information. So if you have a social media handle, make sure you indicate your name as well as your email address. That's our networking column. And our growing column, we want you to just kind of real briefly tell us which Google app do you use the most and how. And if you don't use any Google apps, then just say, what do you want to learn more about? And then go. We want to know if you're Google certified. If you're using Google products or G Suite apps, why not get a badge for it? Certification, I have my level 1, level 2, and I'm working on my trainer certification. It has truly opened the door for all kinds of networking opportunities. It's well worth pursuing Google certification. So we just want you to take a moment to fill out this chart. Once again, it's on slides 8, 9, 10, and 11. Take a few moments to do that, and then we'll kind of chat and talk about some of the things you may do, Google apps you may use with your students in the classroom. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hall. They're telling me that it's in view only mode. They're unable to edit it.
Okay, let me go ahead and get the link for you. Let me change the permissions for that. And then in the meantime, if you do not have the slide deck up, you can put this information in the chat box. Okay, so refresh your page, and that's that little symbol right there, and you should be able to have this slide deck in edit mode. And while you're doing that, I would like to share with you, you would think that Miss Patterson and I have been working with each other for years, but I'll tell you, her and I have participated in a Google Certified Trainer Academy with Miss Bonnie Chalette. She was our trainer. And I noticed her work with, she made an all about me digital poster using Bitmojis. And I said, I really want to reach out to her. And so we collaborated in a matter of, I want Miss Patterson, I think 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yes.
And we really wanted to host a share fair in hopes of, because getting this information out there to as many people as possible. And it's our intention to host monthly webinars, because we really want to re-energize and inspire and to share our knowledge. And we also want to learn from others. So that's the whole reason behind this Share Fair document.
Let me just say, I cannot wait for that. This is Bonnie, and I cannot wait for the future webinars. I'm so excited. So excited.
Yeah, thank you. And just to kind of piggyback on Miss Bonnie Chalette, she is, and I'll talk a little bit more about it on our website, our blog site, but she is a East Baton Rouge Parish's district tech facilitator. She trains on virtual field trips. I mean, all things Google she can help you with. And she also is, if I'm speaking correctly, Ms. Chalette, the director of, or she manages South Louisiana's Google Educator Group.
That's
and that's
right.
on Twitter.
I'm just in like a Google cult, and I just don't get enough at work. I'm also the founder of the Global GEG, which is a ton too. So and like I said, I would love to have these ladies, like, if come talk for us. I do events all the time, so love this. This is so good. Y'all, then they're so organized. Y'all don't even understand the planning that went behind this. This was great.
Yeah. And just like Ms. Chalette said, she's welcoming you with open arms. So if you know there's something you want to share or something you want to get out there and provide some sort of training for, she's definitely a go-to person for that. If you need to reach out to us through email, because we want to grow this and to have a place where it's informal, comfortable, and no holds barred when we're trying to navigate this tech world. We just wanted to hyper focus on Google because that's just what we're using right now. And I hope we continue to use it. And it is ever changing and it's ever evolving. So it's hard to stay on top of it. That's why we need to make sure we're networking, growing, and going together. Now, I will say, if you go to slide 9, you may want to put your information there, but that's okay. I'm still able to extract this information. I mean, I'm going to put it on one document, and then so that way you'll have it on our blog site. So we've dedicated slides 8, 9, 10, 11 for you to input to place your information. Send it to me.
So, Ms. Hall, we have about 5 minutes left. While they're typing in the information, you can go ahead and tell them about the different resources we have for them
on our website. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move along. Let me go to my blog site. We've created a networking, growing, and going blog site focused in on our Geeking Out with Google Share Faire series. So we will again place the link inside of our chat box. But I will say it's to access it is our URL is two tech ladies and a blog.weebly.com. So we'll kind of talk about a little bit about what's on this blog and why we've created it. Mrs. Patterson and I consider ourselves curators. We watch endless hours of videos. We follow different groups on Twitter, Facebook for networking opportunities so that we can grow our craft. So in this particular blog, we just curate it because we want to give full disclosure and, to people who have already done this work. So on our Network Grow and Go blog site, we created this thing called Google Flicks, kind of like the Netflix. We were once again hyper focused on using Google Slides. And here on this particular box, when you click on it, you will get access to my presentation. And then if you, the Bitmoji presentation that Mrs. Patterson trained us on, it will be located there. We also have a Teach from Home Google Hub. That website, I use this tremendously to help me plan for remote learning and teaching with my students. This particular Google Hub, Teach from Home, talks about all of the G Suite apps that are out there, purposes, tutorials, how to use it for distance education. This is the hub for that. So I definitely refer to this quite a bit. Also on our blog site, we found I noticed in the chat box, you all really, really love the Bitmoji classrooms. So being a part of the Bitmoji Craze Facebook group, teachers have done a lot of work. And it's not just teachers, it's also people in corporate America who have curated resources for you all. So when you click this link, it's going to take you to a spreadsheet. We made it where it forces a copy. And there are links for backgrounds, images, if you want objects, if you want read aloud books, holiday seasons, is all curated on this spreadsheet. Compliments of a teacher on Facebook, that Bitmoji Craze Facebook group. Okay. Also, another teacher compiled, I call it the Bitmoji store. And there's more, just the same as the virtual classroom links. She has backgrounds, rugs, lamps. I mean, it's a lot there. So that's this particular image there. Also, there's a video for that. So I love in my spare time, kind of crazy to say, but I do in my spare time watch a lot of YouTube videos. I follow quite a bit. I subscribe to quite a bit of edu-blogists and those who have YouTube channels. So in all of the videos that you'll see here, we've already watched it, they've been vetted, and we definitely want to share that resource with you. So what we created was this little slide deck, resource slide deck for a table of contents here, where when you click on, if you see it highlighted, it's going to take you to the actual slide. We actually listed the types of videos. So if you're looking for a tutorial, organizing your drive, whatever the case may be, these are actually videos. So when you click on Drive, it's going to take you directly to that. And then these are the different YouTube videos that you can watch for certain things that you're trying to do when using G Suite products. So that's something we've curated for you all. Also, Safe YouTube. Please, 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 if you can remember when you're embedding YouTube videos, put it into Safe YouTube links. And that way it will do away with anything that's unsafe for your students. So you just paste the link, generate the link, and then you'll be able to use the new link on your G Slides. So that's Safe YouTube. Slides Mania is all the rage.
Miss Hall, I can't hear you anymore. I don't know if it's my computer. Can y'all hear Miss Hall?
I cannot. I can't hear. She just went.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead and wrap up because we're at that 6:15 mark anyway. These all of these resources that she is telling you about, they are in the links that I have put in the chat box. Also, everyone that has signed up for this meeting, they will that participated in this PD, they will get an email from one of us either tonight or in the morning, just giving you those links again, a recording of this PD, so you'll have all of that information to refer back to. Again, thank you so much for coming. I was nervous. I don't know if y'all could tell, this is my first virtual PD. So I'm glad you all came out, and I hope to see you in the next PDs as well. And look forward to getting an email from us either this evening or tomorrow with all of those links on there. And if anybody has any questions, real quick, I'll stay on for a few minutes to answer any questions. But if that's it, you can log off, and thank you again.
Hello, this is Kelsey Bizu.
Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, welcome to JTA.
Thank you.
I couldn't type into the document because I guess because I'm using my iPad, but I just put it in the chat box.
Okay.
Miss Patterson?
Yes.
I had a glitch on my Chromebook.
I know.